Hi there. Let's begin in child's pose this morning. So find your way to your mat. I'm going to take a knees wide position. You can have your knees as wide as you like them to be. So you can come right off your mat if you like. If you want to cushion your knees, go ahead and do that. This is always a good pose for me to take in the morning because it really helps me check out where my knees are at. Helps me to that full flexion of the knees. I have one that complains a little. Body. Okay, that's fine. If you're somewhere where you can hear the rain, let your thoughts, your focus land there. Take a couple of deep breaths. Feeling the body move through the rib cage. And you can really feel it in this pose. Move through the sides of the rib cage and the back. And then out. Pulling in. And when you're ready, bring yourself to a tabletop pose. Bring the knees in, the hands underneath the shoulders. So you're nice and broad across the collarbones. And then exhale, turn your tailbone down, lift the navel, drop your head. Inhale, stretching the front of the body. Exhale, compressing across the front of the body. At your own pace, let the pace of your breath drive this movement. As you exhale, let's find downward facing dog. So curl into your toes, lift the hips up and back, and find a down dog. And if this is a lot for you first thing in the morning, feel free to change it up a little bit. You can stay on your knees or come down onto forearm, move around or be still. When you're ready, let's just take a full cycle of breath in stillness. Feel that stretch through the sides of the body to the backs of the legs. Next inhale, lift your heels, but hips can drop to the mat. Soften your knees. Take a slow spinal warm up. Roll up. Just take your time. When you get to the top, reach up. You can look up too. And then as you exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, hands down around. So your chest is turning to. Come back this morning. Come back to center. With your fingers, like bunny ears, Prana Mudra, attracting morning energy into your home, to yourself. And then forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, fingertips to the shins, squeeze the shoulder blades together, crown of the head reaches forward. Then as you exhale, soften the knees, fingertips to the mat, and step your right foot back to the back of the mat. Settle down onto your right knee and keep slipping your hips forward and down, forward and down. Maybe swing them from side to side a little bit to start. Look over each shoulder. Maybe you want to wobble your neck, your chin down towards your chest. Anything that's going to feel good here. Nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, hamstring stretch. You know, I love starting the practices with these poses. I'm starting the morning with these. Inhale, back to your lunge. Exhale, hamstring stretch. A couple more times. And then let's make our way back to the lunge and make your way to plank pose. So curl into the back toes, lift the knee, and send your left foot back to meet your right. High plank pose, nice big breath in. As you exhale, lower to the mat. Now remember to maintain your plank all the way down. Tops of the feet press into the mat. Lift the chest, cobra pose. Remember, stay really light in your hands, elbows pulled into the ribs, chin stays tucked. Exhale to release. Tap your forehead. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale. Curl your toes under. And find your plank while you're lying on the floor here. So engage the legs, turn the tailbone towards the heels, pull the low ribs in, and then press the floor away to come to plank pose. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, your right heel is going to lift all the way up and back. Foot up and back. As knee to nose so that your shin is parallel to the floor. Then I want you to just lightly tap your shin from the knee to your big toe all the way down, just a light tap, and then pull it back up. Lifting up, spreading the shoulder blades, lifting the spine up towards the ceiling. Do that a couple more times. Exhale to drop down, and inhale to lift. Just moving with your breath. Now the next time you inhale, bring that right heel up and back, 3-legged dog. And exhale, right foot forward between the hands. Settle your left knee. Find yourself in your low lunge. You can swing your hips around, look around, just find that little bit of movement. And of course, if the movement doesn't feel good, feel free to stay still. Hamstring stretch, sliding the hips back. Come forward and back a couple of times. Just waking everything up. Back to your lunge. Curl in your back toes, lift the left knee, and step your left foot forward to meet the right. Halfway lift. Really lengthen the spine here. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, soften your knees to come all the way up to stand. Take your time to groove on up. Roll the shoulders. Big stretch with your hands. And then forward fold. Halfway lift. Soften the knees, fingertips to the mat. Left foot's going to step back to the back of the mat. Settle down onto your left knee. Now this time I want to come up. Bring the shoulders up over the hips. So your shoulders, your hips, and your left knee are all in one line. I call this a 90-90 lunge because you've got a 90-degree angle at your hip and a 90-degree angle at your front knee. Bring your hands to your turn the tailbone down towards the mat. And you might feel an extra stretch in the front of your left hip. Feel the core engage. Bring the hands up overhead. Big stretch here. One big stretch from your left fingertips all the way down to your left knee. One more breath in. We're going to really dig into the right heel and bring your arms to goddess arch. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and spread the fingers really wide again, giving the energy somewhere to go. Your arms, you're squeezing your shoulder blades together so much your arms, your hands are out of your peripheral vision. You're broad, wide open across your chest. One more breath in. And then exhale. Bring the shoulders, the elbows to the fingertips together, the forearms together. Now you're really broad open. Should feel good here. Next inhale, reach the fingertips overhead. And just make a big circle with the hands, like bringing the hands back behind you. Full range of motion of the shoulders. And bring hands down to frame the front foot. Curl into the back toes and lift the left knee. I'm going to send our right foot back to meet the left in a high plank pose. And now you can always be on your toes here or on your knees, or you can come to like a tabletop. It's up to you. Nice big breath in to bring the shoulders forward. And as you exhale, lower to the mat. Elbow height. And we can just take a moment and roll the shoulders around here. Keep pressing the chest forward. And you can look back over your right and left shoulder as you're moving. Come back. Hands in next to the chest, curl into the toes. Lift up to plank on your toes or on your knees or onto table. Up to you. And exhale back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, your left heel is going to lift. Exhale. Squeeze that left knee in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze it in. Now we're going to start to drop the shin towards the mat, just a tap. And then squeeze your knee up towards your body. Tap, tap, and lift. Couple more times. This really works and wakes up a good portion of the body. Next inhale, three-legged dog. Left leg comes up and back. And then notice that there's this little arc or compression in my low back. Lengthen that down. Feel a big stretch in the front of my right hip. Dig into that left heel, to your left heel. Give a little more strength there. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, goddess the arms. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, close your forearms. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. A couple more times. Open and close. Just letting it feel good here. Next inhale. Fingertips to the mat. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften your knees. Come all the way up to stand. You can reach up, take a big stretch if you like. Then bring your hands to your hips. Find some, bring them back into alignment. And let the back. Take a big breath and you can extend the right heel if you like. Notice the shoulders stay over the hips. Exhale from that right knee. Inhale, reach the right foot back to the back of the mat, crescent lunge. Hands can come to your heart here. Elbows pointing straight out to the side. Nice big breath in. I want to lean forward, take any compression of the spine. So we're like in a arrow lunge. And let's bring the right elbow to the knee to twist the lunge. Prayer twist. Press into your hands to lift the chest, till the middle of your chest is just by your hands. Left elbow is pointing at the ceiling. I like to look at the floor here for balance. You can do what you like. If you want, you can look up towards the ceiling, shoulder. Waves the hands, reach the right hand back, the left hand forward. Hips and shoulders facing the long edge of the mat. Move the front of the mat. And you can move around, pivot around on your feet till you're really comfortable in this pose. Take a breath here. Right hand to the right hip, left hand's going to reach up and back. Big, huge stretch. And then frame the front foot to a runner's lunge. Let's, while we're here, take an easy twist. Front, left hand lifts. And then as you exhale, left hand can come down inside your right foot. Walk your hands around towards the long edge of the mat so you're in a forward fold. And just take a moment here, dangle in your forward fold. Or if you like, walk your hands forward till it feels like you're in a down dog. You've got these crazy wide legs. And walk your hands forward and then press into your hands to send your hips back. Wherever you are, walk hands back around towards the front of the mat and bring your right foot forward to meet the left. Halfway lift. And soften and to stand. You can reach up if you like. And then hands to your hips. Find your spot to gaze. Inhale to exhale to bend. Inhale, crescent lunge. And from the crown of your head to your left heel. Hands to your heart. Press to lift your chest just a little bit higher. Up or look down. If this flop of your hands, like we got a perfect 90-degree angle at the wrist, you can take a fist. Wrap your hand around. Doesn't matter which way you go. You can go this way or this way. See if that helps the wrists a little bit. Now from here, we're going to unwind all the way to warrior two. So bring your gaze down to the left heel. And then unwind the hands. Left hand back, right hand forward. Find your warrior two pose. One time to reverse. Left hand drops, right hand lifts up and back. Keep pressing forward through your right shin. Cartwheel down, frame the front foot, lift the left heel, runner's lunge. And when you're ready, you can take one easy twist. Lift the right hand, turn the chest to the inner right knee. As you exhale, right hand comes down inside the right foot. Forward fold here. You can do the same thing you did on the first side, or you could change it up. Maybe take a lunge to the back and to the front of the mat. You can stay up pretty high like I am with your knees, with your hips about knee height, or you can come lower. Hands can stay on the mat, or maybe bring your hands outside, palms facing down, sliding back and forth. Whatever you like here, maybe you're in a forward fold or that down dog version, or you got something else you like. to do when you're in the wide-legged stance, go for it. And when you've had enough, walk your hands, get a bug on me, back around the mat, and let's step the left foot forward to meet the right. Halfway lift, forward fold. Soften the knees, come up to stand, hands at your hips. Find a spot to gaze just in front of your mat. Like I'm going to look at this plant here. Bring your weight into your left foot. Okay. Shoulders stay over the hips. You can extend. Big inhale here. Exhale, bend. Inhale, warrior three. Warrior three looks like a capital T. So you're going to send your right heel straight back from your hip. Crown of the head straight forward from your hip. Keep your hands at your hips stay level. If you don't want to do this, go to crescent lunge. You just tap the right toes down. We're all going to do that in a moment. But a full cycle of breath here first. Next inhale. Press. Reaching the hands up. As you exhale, let's bring the hands behind the back. Squeeze the elbows towards one another. And then press the knuckles towards your right heel. Big breath in. You can lower your right heel down and make your way to a humble warrior, bringing your left shoulder to the left knee, the fist turns up and over. Oh, just a nice easy stretch here. Release your hands, fingertips to the front of the mat. Lift your right heel and let's step the right foot forward to meet the left. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Soften your knees, come all the way up to stand. One more reach. We'll try this balance on the other side. So again, to avoid having my gaze straight out and then having to change it and move it to bring it down when I do my warrior three, I'm going to start with my gaze just slightly down and then of the mat. Take the lock out of your knees. Bring your weight into your right foot, lifting the left heel. Hips stay level. Everything's strong and engaged in your torso. Lift the left knee. Inhale to extend. Exhale to bend. Inhale, warrior. Reach that left heel back, crown of the head forward. So the straight down to the mat. Really press back through the heel, engage the ankle. The more tension you put in your body, the easier it's going to be to hold the pose. But again, if you don't want to hold this pose, go ahead to crescent lunge. One more full cycle of breath here. Inhale to your crescent lunge. As you exhale, we'll take the chest expansion, interlace your fingers at the base of the spine, and squeeze your elbows towards one another, really open across the chest. Press your knuckles towards your left heel. You can lower that left heel to the mat as we make our way to a humble warrior. Right shoulder to right knee, fist is up and over. Look back towards your left foot. Now, if it's really hard for you, if this is a really hard pose for you, and it's hard for you to get your thumbs even up off your back, think about using a strap and separating the hands for you. And it's hard for you to get your thumbs even up off your back. Think about using a strap and separating the hands a little bit so that you can still get some motion in the shoulders. You can release your fingertips to the mat. Left foot forward to meet the right. Halfway lift. And then forward fold. Start to sink your hips down towards your heels. Balls to your knees come wide. You're almost lying down between your knees. Reach your hands forward and send your hips onto the mat. Soles of the feet together. We're folding forward. and a butterfly pose. Can give a little bit of pressure to your knees. And lengthen up. Bring your knees together, and from here, we're going to make our way into a Savasana pose. So this is the last pose I'm going to call for today. So if there's a final movement or shape that you'd like to take before you go all the way into Savasana, I applaud that. Just shut your eyes, tune into yourself, see what you need to make this practice feel complete. I'm going to take a happy baby, but maybe you want a recline twist or a shoulder stand or something else. It's up to you. One foot out into the rain. And then when you're ready, make your way to your Savasana pose. Now you can lie flat out if that feels good for you, or maybe you want to turn on your side, or for you, or maybe you want to turn on your side or take another kind of pose, or come to sit up in like a meditative position. Just be here for a few moments. So letting some stillness and quiet set in at the beginning of the day. Now, when you're ready to begin moving again, you can begin to take a couple of deep breaths and then start to stretch out through your fingers and toes. Turn your wrists and your ankles. Maybe turn your head from side to side. Reach arms straight up. And bring your hands back in towards your chest. Pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. You can sway from side to side, rock around. Really take your time, like getting movements that feel good for you. And when you're ready, make your way up to a comfortable seat. From here, the nice tall spine, let's reach our head. Prana Mudra, peace fingers into the sky, reaching for energy, attracting energy in towards ourselves, our families, our homes. Palms together, thumbs to the third eye. And we'll hinge forward for our final. Namaste. I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll see you next Friday. If in the meantime there's anything you'd like to see in these practices, drop a note in the comments, and I'll be sure and have it planned for you for next week. Have a good one.